up, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Dish podcast. We are here in T-Mobile Center. I'm Ford Griffith, sports reporter, and I'll let my co-host introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Katie Schaefer, sports reporter.
So, the Cyclones took on Arizona State, took them down 96-88, and I think the first thing that we need to talk about is Addy Brown.
Oh my goodness, Addy Brown broke so many records. She made the most points for an Iowa State player in a Big 12 championship. She ended the night with 41 points, a team high. Following was Audie Kirks with only 20, and she was just unstoppable the whole night.
It was incredible. I mean, she missed her first two shots, but then had, I think, 3 straight three-pointers, maybe a mid-range, and she had 13 points in the first quarter. It was like kind of out of nowhere, and she was just scoring so easily all night. It was incredible to see. It was insane.
Yeah, I was a little nervous early on just because it took us about 3 minutes before us to actually get a point on the board. But Addy Brown was so consistent the whole night. She scored from every area on the court, which was super impressive.
Yeah, that was something that she talked about in the post game, how what she tries to do is be a 3-level scorer from in the paint, mid-range, three-pointer, and I mean, she hit on all cylinders tonight. It was an incredible performance, and although Audie still had 20 points, Nevaeh Parkinson kind of shut her down a little bit, got Audie in foul trouble. So the fact that Addy just had that mismatch all night and she took advantage of it completely, 13 for 23 from the field, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and the 41 points, just insane.
Yeah, Audie kind of got the momentum going. And with those free throws, the whole team ended with 33 out of 40, mostly coming from Audie and Addy, who both had 10, and they just completely dominated. That was the whole goal kind of going in, to make sure that they could get to the free throw line, and they completely succeeded.
Yeah, and you mentioned those 40 free throws, which is an insane number. I mean, the last time that Iowa State played Arizona State, they took 36 free throws, which was, at the time, I thought was an insane outlier, but then 40 attempts from the line tonight and knocking down 82% of them, I mean, that's something that's really going to help them win games if they can continually knock down free throws at a high rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Arizona State's defense was really great. I mean, there was a little weak spots, obviously, because Addy Brown did so good. But they had everybody coming forward. They had Nevaeh Parkinson, they had Jaylen Brown, and then they had Ty Skinner, who I thought was one of the most offensively driven players for that team. She ended the night with 23 points, which was not a team high, as Jaylen Brown ended with 26 points, but I thought she was just everywhere on the court.
Skinner was great. I mean, she was so quick, and her ability to kind of drive through the defense and knife through the defense, just get to the bucket for some nice attempts at the basket, close down there in the paint. But she was also a really tough defender. She was constantly pestering Emily Ryan when she was bringing the ball up, or whoever just had the ball who was bringing it up. So she had a really good game. I was really impressed with her. I think she's pretty small.
Yeah.
She's only 5'5", so for her to go up and kind of take on those beasts is pretty impressive for her.
Yeah, she reminded me a little bit of Reagan Wilson right when she started, just because of how scrappy they both are.
Yeah.
Skinner ended up fouling out. She was one of the 3, but that just shows how great the defense was.
Yeah, and I mean, they had great flashes of that defense, but I mean, it's a little tough giving up 96 points because the Cyclone offense was able to score really well in the first quarter and the third quarter. They had 28 points in each of those periods. So starting those halves hot is something that's going to also really help against a tough Baylor defense tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that Fenley has encouraged so much that they finish strong, which they lack sometimes, but lately they've been completely succeeding. So that's really going to help them going up against Baylor tomorrow in the quarterfinals.
For sure. And Audie, something that Fenley's talked about throughout the season is that she struggles a little bit against taller defenders. And Arizona State had that in Kennedy Basham, who ended with 6 blocks, which is also incredible. But tomorrow against Baylor, I don't think that Baylor has anybody that's quite that big, and so I think it could be a big game for Audie.
Yeah, I think Baylor has Aronette Von Lay, which was kind of a struggle just because their lead guard is out. But Baylor's defense is super good, and they've been filling in for that missing player. So it's kind of going to it's going to be interesting to see how it all matches up tomorrow.
For sure. I mean, the matchup in the regular season against Baylor was tough. It was the biggest Big 12 loss for the Cyclones, 15 points. So if the Cyclones can score at least, I mean, even somewhat close to how they did against Arizona State, I think they got a shot against Baylor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, the 3 points weren't really falling today, and they're going to need that going in. But if we see Addy Brown perform as great as she did today, I think there's no doubt that it's either going to be a close game or we're going to win.
Yeah, for sure. And even if Addy has half of what she did against Arizona State, it's going to be a big help against that tough Baylor defense. But, I mean, this was an incredible game against Arizona State.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to a shorter episode of The Daily Dish, but we'll be back tomorrow with how the Baylor game went.